So it's about midday UK time on the 27th of July. Thank you to all those people who tuned into the live stream last night. That was great. I have replied to many of the emails, but not all of them. It's full moon, or it will be. The moon is already really bright in the sky, even though it's very low on my horizon, which means it's high up in the southern hemisphere. And it's full moon in a very, very strong position. I know I've explained this a few times before, but this time let's just focus on the full moon itself. Full moon will be on Wednesday, the 29th of July, between 3:35 p.m. and 3:36 p.m. UK time. That's 10:36 a.m. New York time, and something like just before midnight in Melbourne. The full moon will take place at exactly 6.5 degrees of Aquarius, and the sun will be at 6.5 degrees of Leo, literally 6 degrees 30 minutes. At the moment of the full moon, Jupiter will be at 6 degrees 25 minutes of Leo. So the sun will be conjunct Jupiter by 5 minutes of 1 degree. When you consider that the sun is half a degree wide, so from the centre of the sun to the outskirts of it, from our perspective, is 1/4 of 1 degree, 15 minutes of 1 degree. So the sun is going to be in precisely the same degree as Jupiter. I don't think they're going to be in the same degree of latitude as much as they are in the same degree of longitude. So I don't think it will be an eclipse, but it's still going to be very, very strong. Jupiter is going to be, from an Earth-based perspective, behind the sun, very close to it from our perspective. As a result, there's going to be an amplification. Jupiter can exaggerate and go over the top and overreach. It can also bring joy, hope, and optimism. And with Jupiter right behind the sun, it's going to be shining its energy into the sun, which in itself is going to be shining its energy onto the Earth. And the moon is going to be the other side of the Earth. And it's not directly behind the Earth from the sun, otherwise it would be an eclipse. But we are going to get the moonlight from the sun directed onto the other side of the Earth. So we've got this straight line in the sky. Moon, Earth, Sun, Jupiter. That's one hell of an amplification. There are a number of beneficial aspects to the full moon, as in Pluto is conjunct the moon by 2 degrees, 2.25 degrees, and opposite the sun by 2.25 degrees, and opposite Jupiter by 2.25 degrees. Uranus is going to be sextiling the sun and trining the moon by about 1.5 degrees. And Neptune is going to be trining the sun and sextiling the moon by just over 2 degrees. Great. Okay, this makes it all sound very nice. There's more. As we speak, or at least on the 29th, on the full moon, at the moment of full moon, Mars will be at 21 degrees 26 of Gemini, and Venus will be at 21 degrees 33 of Virgo. They will be precisely square, 7 minutes of 1 degree. There's an exact square of Venus in Virgo to Mars in Gemini at the moment of full moon. Yeah, that's relatively significant. What's much more significant is that the exact midpoint of that is 6 degrees 29, 6 degrees 30 of Leo and Aquarius. The full moon is on the Venus-Mars midpoint by 1 minute of 1 degree. So what does all this mean? Well, for a start off, from my translation, I'm not saying I'm right, but I've got 50 years experience. Venus square Mars does bring up a lot of issues around balance and imbalance between feminine and masculine. This does not mean between men and women. But it does bring up a lot of issues in individuals about our own relationship with our femininity and our masculinity, regardless of our gender. So I imagine, as I've seen in this last week, 2 weeks, as the Venus-Mars square has got stronger and stronger, I would imagine that over the next few days we're going to see ever more rhetoric around gender imbalance, issues concerning gender equality, and quite a bit of anger. And the Sun will be conjunct Jupiter, the king of the gods, the patriarch. The Moon will be conjunct Pluto, the unconscious, the psychological, and to a certain extent, as I'm realizing in recent years, the dark feminine. Every time I try and wrap my head around this full moon, and I've tried a lot over this last year, the closer we get to it, the more I keep coming up with a similar bunch of words, and I don't want to be thinking them because they're not good words. Jupiter is going to amplify the Sun. It's going to make the Sun much louder, larger, bigger, metaphorically speaking, than it really is. The Moon is going to be conjunct Pluto, the underworld, the underneath, everything Plutonic. Pluto is the darkest, the smallest. Jupiter is the biggest and the brightest, equal and opposite. Jupiter took the overworld, Pluto took the underworld. There is going to be both an explosion and an implosion. The explosion may actually manifest externally in some type of outrage, bombing, warfare act, or some type of other large-scale explosion in some shape or form that will be made out to be much bigger than it really is. Equally, there could be quite a bit of subterfuge. With the Moon conjunct Pluto opposite the Sun conjunct Jupiter, there's going to be certain secrets that are coming out big time over this next few days, and there's going to be a desperate attempt to deflect attention away from these secrets, even to the point of having a false flag, creating something out of nothing so that it takes people's attention away from what's really going on. But the truth will out. Here I see the influence of Uranus in Gemini and Neptune in Aries, with their sextiles and trines to the Sun and Moon, as well as Jupiter and Pluto. And besides that, one of the things I've learned over decades and decades of study is that humans are absolutely crap at keeping secrets. This is why I've given up on most conspiracy theories, because they're theories. If more than 2 people know something, it's not a secret anymore, it's going to leak. Guaranteed. So I don't see anything able to be suppressed or repressed or hidden. Something's coming out of the underworld. And it's going to make a lot of sense when it comes out, because a lot of people in recent days have been feeling a sense of inertia, as if a sense of imminence, as if something's about to blow or something's about to give, and it's going to create a whole new shockwave of energy, which hopefully the vast majority of us will be able to flow with and surf with and create something wonderful from. But then, I am the eternal optimist most of the time. To my way of seeing things, yes, there's an eclipse in August, a total eclipse. Yes, Mars will conjunct 4 degrees Leo in the first week of October. But this full moon is the last big finale of 2026. It's the last part of the puzzle, of the enigma that's been going on all year. The moon's in the same degree, 7 planets in Aries, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, all the planets in one half of the sky, followed by the basket. The full moon in Leo, conjunct Pluto and opposite Jupiter. This is a summation of all of this. So what does that mean to an individual level? I was talking about this last night on my live stream. There'll be many people out there who will be going, how can I make any difference? The world's changing and I want it to change, but how can I do it? I'm just one person. You can't. What you can do is change your attitude. Open up yourself. I saw a wonderful clip the other week where someone asked someone else in the audience, well, what do you do? And the person replied, my best. Got a round of applause. You're not being asked to be successful. You're not being asked to achieve. You're being asked to do your best. And the only person who can tell you what your best is you. You are judge, jury, and executioner here. If anyone else comes up to you and goes, you should, then it's like, okay, there's the door, you can leave. No more guilt trips, no more shame, blame, or guilt. No more shoulds. As long as you are doing your best, that is all that is asked of you. But collectively, when everyone is doing their best, this world is going to change for the better. And what your best is up to you. To me, doing my best means living as clean as I can, with a clean conscience, good ethics, good morals, and try my best to smile at people every time I meet them, even the ones I don't particularly like. Everyone's interpretation of what their best is their own. We all are responsible for our perception. We're also responsible for our actions. You're not responsible for other people's reactions. So if you're doing your best and other people choose to be hacked off with you, that's their problem, not yours. This full moon is very much black and white. It's a time of light and dark. Big light, big dark. I hope it's not going to be as malefic as it could be. I consider it the most dangerous full moon of this year, and actually for a long time. But it has in it the potential to be transcendental, to accelerate, evolve and grow in a way that we've all collectively aspired to for a long, long time. So yeah, full moon's coming. Wednesday afternoon, UK time, mid-late afternoon. I shall be out there dancing in the moonlight, in the sunlight. And I suggest that whatever you're doing at the full moon, and again, the time of it, full moon will be UK time, Wednesday afternoon at 3:35 to 3:36 p.m. UK time. Take it from there. Do your best and do it with a smile on your face, and nothing will go wrong in your world. Catch you later, folks. Bye.